Do you need to fix your credit score and fast? Tony Walls from Town & Country Credit Union is here with some advice. Thanks for coming back in. We talk a lot about credit scores. We're talking about fixing your credit score fast. What does fast mean when we're talking about credit scores?
Well, typically, if you need to make some changes on there or maybe clean some things up, it can take usually, the credit bureau is usually about 30 to 60 days behind.
Okay.
So if I were to pay off a credit card today, it's not going to update till my statement next month probably. So it can take up to 60 days. So if you're going to make a big purchase, especially a home or you're going to buy a vehicle, you do want to keep track of that and know if there's something that you need to fix or something you can get that done.
In the break, you used an example. So I need a car. Need to go right to the dealership. But if you don't know where you're at, financially, it could make a huge difference in what rate you get.
Absolutely. So sometimes if you have struggles with the credit score or you're around that 640, 680 range, there's some pretty big jump offs from the rate. So if you're above 720, typically with us, you can get 2, 3, 4% depending on. But if you're down at a 640 or 660, you may be looking at 7, 8, 9%. So if there's something you can do to kind of jump that score, or maybe you have a little collection out there, or something's passed, you can get that caught up before you go get that loan, and that could save you a couple percentage points, so you can get a little bit more of a car or a little bit more of a home on a home loan. Yeah,
when we're talking interest rates, 4% difference is huge. Okay, so let's talk about the things that you can do to fix your credit. And number one, these were some of the tips you gave us. Maybe pay off some unsecured debt.
Yep, because that's 33% of your score. And I always use this when I talk to high schools and I talk to our members. So if you, just for math, you have $1,000 on a credit card and you owe $800, you only have 20% available. Well, you get 20 points on your credit score. But if you were to pay that off, you'd have 100% available, so you'd be up 80 points. Especially with some of the younger borrowers, like college kids who maybe only have one credit card and limited credit, you can pay that off and jump your score dramatically, and I've seen it happen. So you just want to make sure that you catch that before the statement goes out. I had a college kid who had one little $500 credit card, $450 only card, pretty maxed out. And I said, "Are you buying this car today?" He said, "No, I'm just going to get pre-qualified." Well, he ended up paying that off and jumped from a 630 to like a 710 like that overnight. So that was pretty impressive. So Again, I've said it 1,000 times, it's kind of how you play the game. And so if you're with a good loan officer, they can kind of give you some of the tips and tricks to get that up so you can get a better rate.
Let's talk about past due bills, because I feel like that's an easy one. Everyone's like, oh, I don't want to get, hurt my credit score because I paid something late. Does that stay on forever? Can you fix it by paying off those, bills?
The nice thing on those is, and sometimes it's something really little. I've had people with high incomes and great, and they have a little $20 credit card they forgot to pay. The good news is, as soon as you pay those off, you'll get 80% of the points you lost back right away. It will stay on your credit, but that's a good way to jump it. Or the other common things that I see is maybe you had a copay for a medical that went to collections for 25, 40 bucks on those. So this is kind of where like the Credit Karmas, and if you go to Capital One, and we just got a new credit tracking score on the Town & Country mobile app and online, where you can look, and I always say this isn't the end-all be-all, but it's a great guide to use these. A lot of times it's not your official credit score, but it's a good way to kind of see if something jumps up, and then you can take a deeper dive in and get that corrected before you go make that major purchase.
Okay. Some do's and don'ts if you are about to make a big purchase.
I would say don't go apply at 5 different places online. Each time your credit's pulled, that's a hit on your credit. So don't apply at 20 different places. As always, I like to get a good banker, get a good person at your credit union or your bank that you work with that you trust. So you kind of have an idea what the rates are, so you don't go to 20 different places and do that. So that's a big one. Try not to open any new accounts, because those can affect your scores too. Try not to ring up debt, especially when you're going to buy a house. You don't want to open a couple credit cards, take out a bunch of new loans, and affect your debt-to-income ratio, and have all these new accounts dragging down your score.
All right. Well, great advice. Fixing your credit score fast. Tony Walls from Town & Country, thanks so much for coming in today.
Yep, thanks for having us again.
We'll be right back.